Welcome to another episode of Nat'l, a weekly podcast about the celebrations occurring on that specific day. There are some we know too well, such as last week's National Pancake Day. I'm kind of curious how many people ran over to IHOP for a free pancake. And there are some that we may not be as familiar with. Join me, and together we will learn something new, eat yummy food, and have a good time. Today, March 16th, is National Freedom of Information Day. Now my first question was, well, who the hell even started this day? The answer to that is Jim Bohannon, an American broadcaster who's most known for his radio show, The Jim Bohannon Show, which you can listen to on his website or with a podcast app. Now why did he choose this day? That's because March 16th was the birthday of James Madison, and he was an advocate for openness in government. James Madison might have been our fourth president, but he was involved in government prior to his presidency. He was involved since our nation's birth. A lot of people love to call him the father of the Constitution, but as a well-educated and fair man, he didn't quite like that. He wanted to give credit to the others as well. Nowadays, we're only primarily familiar with the Democrats and the Republicans as two separate parties. The two parties were once unified into a single party, known as the Democratic-Republican Party, which James Madison was a co-founder of. He also introduced a very crucial aspect, probably the heart of our government, which are the three branches, legislative, executive, and judicial, because he felt that it was the safest way to ensure that no branch had greater power over the other. The purpose is to balance them out. Now, James Madison might have only been 5 feet 4 inches and weighed 100 pounds, but he lived a very historical life and truly was a founding father. But now let's go back to the name, National Freedom of Information Day. Madison might have been an advocate for openness in government, but it wasn't until 1967 when the Freedom of Information Act was enacted by Congress. It was most popular for being known as the law that keeps citizens informed about their government. You want to know what's going on behind closed doors? Well, this might be beneficial to you. Federal agencies such as the Departments of Labor, Transportation, Justice, Education, and many more must disclose any information requested under this act unless the information falls under one of the 9 exemptions, such as personal privacy and national security. To learn a bit more, I decided to go to the Freedom of Information Act's website, which is its acronym, foia.gov. From this website, you can learn more about the act itself, as well as look at any reports or data requested by someone already that is now available to the public, or you can find out more information on how to send your own report request. You first have to click on the department, such as the Department of Science and Technology, click on the specific office in that department, and it will tell you who and how to contact them, either by number or email address. This is a tool that I kind of want to say the average person is unaware of. I mean, I was personally unaware of it until this episode. Maybe I'm just less informed. That could very well be true. But either way, I'm glad that this is available to me at all. Lastly, with discussing topics like government and information, it was kind of hard to resist not mentioning the Netflix TV show House of Cards, especially since I recently caught up to its 4th season, and it's an amazing show. It's amazing! Seriously, it is. The drama isn't as blatant as other political dramas like Scandal or The Good Wife. House of Cards has a similar intensity as Breaking Bad. It's an internal stress that's hard to describe, but viewers of this show understand. It eats you up inside, causes anxiety, and honestly makes you kind of depressed, yet you can't stop watching it until there's no more episodes. The oh my god moments aren't moments you shout out loud to the world, but you more curl in bed and don't want to leave the house. I'm probably not making the show sound interesting at all, but it's just kind of one of those things you have to feel for yourself. I was worried about this new season because seasons 2 and 3 didn't have as much as that intensity as season 1, but I'm happy to say that season 4 is a comeback. People's first thought of the show may be a no, without any interest or willingness to try the show out. Either they're not an immediate fan of Kevin Spacey or any of the other actors. I'll honestly admit I kind of wasn't either. Just no one of the cast kind of drew me into it. Or they just might say no because it's about politics. But I want to say that if you keep an open mind and have the subtitles on, I want to say you might get sucked in. And it's kind of important to mention the subtitles. When I first watched the show, I honestly thought I didn't like it or that it was super boring. But I wasn't satisfied with my opinion. It didn't seem fair. So when I watched the second episode, I put subtitles on and realized that I wasn't retaining any of the information. I didn't know what was going on, who the hell that was. I mean, because it's a dialogue heavy show and there's a lot of names to remember, things to remember. And if you're not politically savvy on your own, it's just, you can very easily get lost. But if you pay attention and really give it a chance, I'd kind of be surprised if you didn't say wow. That's it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and if by any chance you're listening on iTunes, please leave a review. The audio for this episode was made by South Florida band Falsetta, whose new CD, Thought Process, comes out next week, March 25th. And if by any chance you want to contact me directly, send me an email at natlpodcast@outlook.com. That's natlpodcast@outlook.com. Thank you.